Good evening everyone and welcome to Blacktown International Sports Park for women's first grade action between Ryde and Blacktown. To introduce your starting lineups. For Ryde, Mihaela O'Neill, Lisa Nakashio, Ayano Kazuda, Isabel Lambert, Maya Fukuda, Cameron Love, Violet Rupala, Jess Mitchell, and Catherine Delamere. They are coached by Paul O'Neill, and please introduce the bench for Ryde. Your starting lineup for Blacktown: Angelique Ido, Takara Glenhouse, Madison Maguire, Madison Heath, Emily Van, Brianna Green, Katie Kennedy, Elise Greenfeld, and Madison Erwin. Pitching for Blacktown, Mackenzie Jackson. Now, those of you get standing for the Australian National Anthem. Thank you, and clap on!
Women's first grade action out at Blacktown International Sports Park. You are joined by myself, Grady Roberts, on this quite chilly Tuesday night on the 1st of April. As we are about to get underway with a ball. Blacktown versus Ryde. Bit of 2 versus 4 action as they ended the State League season. 2 balls to start off the night for Mackenzie Jackson. This obviously the gold medal game for Women's League in 2024-25, and strike one finally called to the leadoff batter for Ryde, Mahalia O'Neill. And we are officially underway. Strike 2 called to O'Neill. Jackson able to come back. A bit of zip. Two count. Swung on right side. Be fielded cleanly by the first baseman of Brianna Green. We'll bring up the 2-hole batter for Ryde, Lisa Nakashio. We can have a look at that Ryde lineup for just a minute. I'll run it through for you. Obviously the leadoff batter, Mahalia O'Neill, followed by the now batting Lisa Nakashio, Ayano Kazuda, and Isabel Lambert are your leadoff 4. Isabel Lambert doing double duty, pitching and batting. Maya Fukuda in the 5 and Tamarin Love hitting 6th. Your bottom 3 of Violet Grupal are Jess Mitchell and Catherine Delavere. Ball fouled away. Now these 2 teams faced only one time previously this year after being scheduled for 3 with a pair of washouts, which is always unfortunate. That is ball 2. Yes, these 2 teams only faced once after being scheduled for 3. It was a 13-3 win for Blacktown. They got the easy road through the finals, beating the Eastern Suburbs Dolphins in their first week of the finals. Right, having to do a bit more work as they... Nakashio is going to cause Jackson to eat up another pitch. Nakashio's numbers on the year. She's got a 457 average, a 600 on base, and a 1457 OPS, which always good to see from the 2-hole hitter. Swung on, foul tipped and caught for the first strikeout of the night for Jackson. So with the first 2 batters retired for Jackson, she's going to have to face Ayano Kazuda. What a really fun names in both lineups tonight. 3-hole hitter for Ryde. Shows bunt on the first pitch, pulls it back. Kazuda's got a 294, 478 and a 772 OPS in not as many games. Spent some time away from the club. Only really started playing in February. Jackson's gonna throw one high and tight. Not to hit young Kazuda. Maybe just to keep her in check. Swung on right side and deep foul. That has gone a long way for a foul ball. Has all but cleared the Blacktown bullpen down the first baseline. So with a 2-1 count, see ball 3. You can already hear the Blacktown fans getting rowdy up the top. Top row rowdies, as some would say. For anyone Speedway adjacent. 3-2 count, payoff pitch. Swung on and away. Ryde gets sat down in order on 14 pitches, and Blacktown looking to keep their streak alive of first grade grand final wins. We will head to the bottom of the first. Ryde getting shut down in 15. Back here in the bottom of the first, Blacktown Bono getting their first chance to put up some offense. Angelique Iredale going to lead off the Blacktown lineup. First pitch strike. Isabel Lambert on the bump for Ryde. A lot of good blood in the Lambert name. A lot of good baseball genes within that family. Swung on by Iredale. A lot of good baseball genetics in the Iredale family as well. So it really is a name-on-name matchup. Swung on right side. Get picked up and fired in by Kazuda to register the first out of the inning. Just going to have a rundown of the Blacktown lineup. Obviously, Angelique Iredale leading off. You're going to see Takara Geldenhuis, just getting some proper enunciation on that name. She'll be followed by M squared, Madison Maguire and Madison Heath. Hitting fifth is Ebony Van Hyde, Brianna Green, Matisse Kennedy, Elise Greenfeld in the second cleanup spot, and Madison Irwin rounding out the Blacktown lineup. Obviously, they've got Mackenzie Jackson pitching, as we saw in the first inning, clearing out the top three Ryde hitters in 15 pitches. So a 2-1 count to Gelden Heiss. Swung on, evens up the count at 2-2. Isabel Lambert, a bit of a two-way star for Ryde this year. She was kind of the lean pitcher for Ryde. She pitched 24 complete coming into today. She's got a pop-up to centre field. And that'll be tracked down by Mahalia O'Neill. Just a regular old can of corn, as it were. We'll bring up number 3 hitter for Blacktown. First part of M squared, Madison and Madison Associates at law, Madison Maguire. Swung on the first pitch, it's going to get popped up. Kazuda's waving everyone off. As it spirals down, she'll drag it in. Lambert only using up 9 pitches, so strap in, folks. We're in for a bit of a pitching duel tonight. Get ready. We head to the top of the second. Scores are still drawn at 0-0. Four, 5, 6 due for Ryde. Got Isabel Lambert, the two-way star, followed by Maya Fukuda and Tamarin Love, that you will definitely see during this inning. There's strike one thrown. Strike 2, so 2 in a row for Jackson. Always something good to see from your starter is efficiency. 13's usually the pivot number for pitches you'd want thrown in an inning, and 15's not too bad. And the 3-pitch strikeout's always a good sign, as Lambert will go down swinging. Again, the last time these two teams faced off, well, they only faced once in what was intended to be a 3-game set throughout the year. It was on November 2nd that they faced. It's a 13-3 end score through 3 innings. Ball 1. So Blacktown able to capitalise with 6 hits and 5 errors granted from Blacktown able to capitalise, sorry, with a pop-up there. And it'll get taken in by Madison Maguire. So the third batter of the inning now for Ryde. Got Tamarin Love coming up with the stick. Swings on the first pitch that's high. Don't mind the theory behind it, but swinging first pitch is always a intense game to play. Can be profitable, but can also sink as you swim. Strike 2 called on the outside corner of the plate. 0-2 count with 2 out. Tamarin Love just get bat on ball and force something to happen. At foul ball, straight over the back of the infamous roof here at Blacktown. Love with a 394 average, a 421 on base, and a 1027 OPS. OPS being a rough number that you'd keep an eye on as a coach for how effective a batter is. 700's usually where you'd want to be in any given league. Anything above 9 is a very good idea as the ball's batted straight back to Jackson at the pitcher. Bit of PFP work for young Jackson. So we will head to the second. And what's looking like it's going to be quite a speedy and low offense game. Scores are still tied at 0-0. Blacktown due up to bat. Back here in the bottom of the second in Blacktown International Sports Park. Madison Heath, Ebony and Brianna Green due up. Strike 1 from Lambert. Something that might not get reflected in the box scores that you might read through on a Monday morning. As one's popped up. O'Neill able to track that one down on a little bit of an awkward catch out in centre field. Heath did get a good amount of that. And fortunately not getting rewarded with a hit. Something that you don't get a lot with just the box scores in this league is the actual skill level these girls play at. You've got 9 players that are going to Nationals just on the workers team. Nationals in a handful of weeks. So it might not be the New South Wales Blues. You might as well call it what it is. It's the Blacktown Workers Club against the rest of Australia. Regardless, the skill level across the league itself is increasing. For anyone watching the women's second grade, Penrith had a fantastic run through the finals that I was fortunate enough to call. And so to any aspiring young ladies out there, aspiring young gentlemen as well, might be wise to keep an eye on the women's side of the game. A lot of soft contact, a lot of well-placed hits. Not as much of a reliance on power, but that's not all that you need when you're playing the game. For any young ladies possibly named Addison, for any young gentlemen possibly named Wilson, and for anyone else on my under-10s squad, do appreciate you tuning in. First base runner of the night. Blacktown first to strike. As I was saying a minute ago, you've got to imagine that there's some amount of small ball going to be played. A potential hit and run situation with one out for Blacktown. Anything to move runners around and put a runner in scoring position. I've got Brianna Green, you are seeing now at bat, as expected. You are going to see a steal attempt and a successful one at that. So now we've got a runner in scoring position. Can we see Blacktown capitalise on this early opportunity? Swung on and fouled to the Blacktown dugout. So Brianna Green with a 483 average on the year, but with runners in scoring position, that average does jump up to 611. Good to quantify clutch when possible. Swung on and a 2-2 count evens itself up. Those of you wondering at home while we've got the lights on Diamonds 2 and 3, the aforementioned national squads are training, which again, a majority of the Blacktown workers are part of. I do believe that's the women's squad over on Diamond 3 in left field and the men's over on Diamond 2 in right field. The women's squad looking a bit more bare bones than the men's, due again to Blacktown cough cough. Full count. Gonna do it all again. So with a full count, you have to imagine what Isabel Lambert's gonna attack Brianna Green with. Popped up. O'Neill tracking in. Able to make the catch. Could have been a very different story if O'Neill was able to bobble that. Put Van Eynd on third and 90 feet away from breaking this one open. So with Brianna Green flying out, we are going to see Matisse Kennedy. Unfortunately, with Van Eynd reaching base, Kennedy will swing over strike one. With Van Eynd reaching base, it does squash the perfect game attempt for Isabel Lambert. Does retain the no-hit bid. Ball in the dirt. Van Eynd will be on her way. And she'll be in standing at third. So we are potentially one wild pitch away from a crooked number being thrown up on the board for the first time tonight. Ryde dugout really getting behind their pitcher. Words of affirmation, as it were. Swung on. And it'll go down as a Texas Leaguer into shallow center. And the first run of the night is scored by Blacktown. Matisse Kennedy breaking it open for Blacktown. We'll bring Elise Greenfell up to bat. Pick-off attempt from Lambert, which, if I'm not incorrect, is the correct assumption to have. Tease Kennedy with only 2 steal attempts on the year, but I'm going to see number 3. No court stealings just yet. She'll keep a perfect record. We'll put up 3rd on the year. For anyone that's been around the game for a little while will know Kennedy's legs are a sneaky weapon. Now all the looks go to Greenfell. All in the dirt. Mentioned earlier that batting average with runners in scoring position. Greenfell's got a 258 average as standard. With runners in scoring position, that does jump up to 333. Just saw the threat that Kennedy can put up on the base paths, and that'll be a walk for Greenfell. Now runners on first and second with only 1 out. And we will see Bill O'Neill go out and have a chat with his starter. Now I have the opportunity and the pleasure, quite frankly, to talk to the coaching staffs before the game, try and get a chat with the players where I can, but for the most part it's usually a head or assistant coach. I did have a chat with Phil O'Neill. Said he wasn't worried about being the minor premiers as long as they made finals. He knew they were going to be a threat. Said he wants to win the big one tonight. But there's a lot of young players, a lot of girls they brought up from second grade. Most of the ones they brought up from second grade are very young, 15 and 16. One swung on. So as Paul O'Neill sees it, they are ahead of schedule, expecting to be competitive. Yet here we are in the grand final. Madison Irwin now up to bat. Madison Irwin, the starting second baseman for Blacktown. I know personally that she's quite an exceptional two-way player. Excellent utility player as well. So to get a bit of utility and a bit of work out of your 9-hole is always a good thing, let alone a great thing. Spent a little bit of time, did Irwin, up in Newcastle last year, playing with the Charlestown Phoenix Baseball Club. Only 31 at-bats. She's got a 290 average pick-off attempt. We keep Kennedy in check. So with only 31 at-bats, she's got a 290 batting average, a 421 OBP, and a 776 OPS. Again, that 700 mark is about your 50-50 point. If you can keep yourself above 700, you're usually doing something right. If you're 900 and up, you're more on the elite side of things. Anything above 1,000, you're likely to be one of the better players in the league. And if you're looking at 1,400, well, you're within the ranks of Babe Ruth and Barry Bonds. Irwin's going to go down swinging. And we will head to the third. Blacktown able to break it open. Bottom of the second. Hoping to keep that lead as we carry on the game. Blacktown leading 1-0. Top of the third. Women's first grade action at Blacktown International Sports Park. Blacktown able to break open the scoring for the first time tonight. Give them a 1-0 lead. You'll see the 7, 8, 9 slots for Ryde. Violet Gruppelar, Jess Mitchell, and Catherine Delavere. Blacktown ended the season with a 9-2 record. Able to beat the Dolphins in the first round of finals. Ryde, on the other hand, having to come through the hard way. Had a 5-7 record at the end of finals, only not scraping in, but doing their best to make it and successful at that. And Violet Gruppelar swings at one, down and away. Load up the count. Full count, the payoff pitch, swung on and missed by Gruppelar. 7 retired in a row for Mackenzie Jackson. Run differential through the year, through to today. For Blacktown, they've got 156 scored against 56 against. Gives them a clean 100 differential. Next closest in the league was the Dolphins. They had 117 to 78. Ryde finished third in that, 107 and 90. Popped up. Buck Jackson's fading everyone off, and she drops it. The first base runner of the night for Ryde is off an error from the pitcher. The perfecto bid is gone, folks. We are down to dueling. Now down to a pitcher's duel. Be interesting to see if that gets written up as an error or if it's a clean base hit. Strike one called on Catherine Delavere. It is going to get recorded as an error. Ball away. Jessica Mitchell's got 3 steals recorded on the year. Has only been caught once. Don't be surprised if we see her going now, though. Ball up. Again, the women's side of the bracket do pride themselves on short and sharp hits, putting the ball, or placing the ball rather. As that Texas League to break open the scoring wasn't evident enough. Just going to have a look at Delavere's numbers on the year. 292 average, a 455 OBP and a 746 OPS. That one also popped up. It's going to go to shallow centre. Maguire's able to range over and take that one just outside of the cutout. So 2 away for Ryde, and we flip back to the top of the order. Mahalia O'Neill. Relation of Matt and Paul. Whether that's fortunate or unfortunate is more of a personal opinion. Mahalia's numbers on the year. He's got a 333 clean average, a 462 on base, and a 842 OPS. Kick-off attempt at first in standing. So Jess Mitchell getting not too far off, but far enough off enough that Jackson wanted to make sure of it. Strike called on O'Neill. The 1-1 count. One and one. Swung on and line to left field. Greenfeld takes it in stride, unsure of whether to go in or out. And hey, that's the upside of having such a well-struck ball. Blacktown able to contain Ryde's offense in the third. We head to the bottom. Blacktown still leading Ryde 1-0. Home half of the third, and first pitch is swung on, and O'Neill drops it. Stand up double. Stand up double for Angelique Iredale. And exactly what you want to see from the top order batsman. You have Takara Lendheis now batting. Swung on again. And it'll stay fair, and it'll score another. Geldon Heights with a stand-up double and trading places with Iredale. And an electric start for Blacktown. What can only be written up as excellent game management from the Blacktown coaching staff. And bring Maguire back up to the plate. Now, how's this for a triple slash on the year? 773 average, a 828 on base, and a 1918 OPS. Now, that might be the largest I have ever seen. Barry Bond's infamous 2004 season, he reached 1,400 on the OPS category, and to get an extra 500 points on that is absolutely insane. It was a steal on that wild pitch. Geldon Heights is going to steal home as well. Blacktown make it 3-0. I was about to bring you the batting average with runners in scoring position, but that is no longer needed. I'm sure you can have a wild guess, and assuming that it was better than her average regularly. Again, clutch hitting is always important. Ball in the dirt. And that'll be another walk. Maguire with only 3 stolen bases on the year. Geldon Heights leading the Blacktown squad with 12. Now Madison Heath up to bat. A steal attempt. Ball will get away from the catcher regardless, so in and safe. Lambert not looking like she's got her usual control. She's got a pretty nasty fastball, and there's no real way to describe the off-speed pitch that she has. It's just, it kicks. That's all you can really say about it. Seen her throw it a couple times tonight to some effect. Ball away. Makes it a 2-0 count with a runner on second. None out for Blacktown. Really trying to twist the dagger early. Strike one called. A 2-1 count, and Lambert will pivot around and have a peruse with the runner at second. So a 3-1 count. Interesting to see if she gets the green light here. No, she will not. She will take the Johnny Cash and find herself 90 feet closer to scoring. Paul O'Neill going to come out and have yet another conversation with his starter. Lambert already at 47. There's no one warming up in the bullpen. Bit of a novelty to see a bullpen warm up in Women's League. Unfortunately, they don't have the numbers. And that will be the night for Lambert. We will bring you the information when we have it. We will return momentarily. Finally have some information for you. It'll be a straight swap for Jessica Mitchell and Isabel Lambert. Isabel Lambert will find herself at third base. Jess Mitchell now on the bump. 31 innings pitched throughout the year for Mitchell. 54 hits, 56 runs, only 44 of them were earned. 11 strikeouts to 3 walks. Always want to see that number in the positive of that ratio. It's got a 9.9 ERA, but a 2.7 walks and hits over innings pitched. Both of the runners will be off. Strike called. Makes the count 2-1. So 365 batting average against, so not as effective as we'd like to keep the ball out of play. Something for us stat nerds. She's got a fielding independent pitching of 5 flat. Fielding independent pitching, a bit more of an equation than ERA and whip. Takes into account a couple different things, but it is justified on the same level as ERA. So 3 being a pivot point again. Anything below 3 is pretty good. Anything above 5 might be time to take up outfield. Regardless, Mitchell's walked the first batter that she's seen. Load up the bases with none out. And we'll bring Brianna Green up to the plate. So Ironed walks for the second time tonight. Loads up the bases and still with none out. Got to think if you're the Ryde coaching staff that 13-3 win, the only time you faced Blacktown all year's got to be ringing around in your cranium somewhere. That one popped up. And Kazuda will park under it and record Mitchell's first out of the evening. Again, that 13-3 win. It's got to be rocking around somewhere within the Ryde coaching staff, hoping not to have a repeat of that tonight. It was only a 3-inning affair, so Ryde can get through this inning and hopefully through the next. It'll be some sort of victory for them. Ball inside. Kennedy up to bat. Kennedy drove in the first run of the night on a single to shallow centre. Swung on, chip shot. And the double play to close out the inning. Absolutely fantastic defense from the Ryde shortstop, Nakashio. She'll take the chip shot into the bunker and clear it up with a beautiful shot onto the green to get that second out at second. We head to the fourth. Blacktown putting up some more runs on the board. Ryde hoping to retaliate. Top half of the fourth. Welcome back to Blacktown International Sports Park. You are joined by me, Grady Roberts. Right, allowing 3 runs the first third of the game to Blacktown. Hopefully going to turn their fortunes around during this middle section. We are going to see Lisa Nakashio, Ayano Kazuda, and Isabel Lambert. The book will officially be closed on Lambert. We've got 2 innings pitched officially. Another strikeout for Jackson. Lambert's line goes 2 innings pitched, 3 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned, 4 walks, and 1 strikeout. Jackson currently sitting at 3 1/3. Zeros across the board except for the strikeout column, in which she has 5. 5 of her current 10 outs, all coming via the way of the K. Something beautiful to see if you are the Blacktown coaching staff. Ball up and away. Pizzuta just checking in on the catch and making sure she's okay. Shows bunt. Strike called. We'll make the count 2-1. Swung on, popped up. Right center. Will be Gelden Heiss, sorry, pulling that one in. And now Isabel Lambert due up for Ryde. Big swing on the first pitch, and that one fouled away. Blacktown squad, the Blacktown fan squad rather, moving away ever so slightly from the broadcast booth, but they can still be heard loud and clear throughout the ground. One and one count. Ball away. Two under Lambert. Swung on. It'll stay fair and it'll go down the left field line. Lambert's going to turn. Lambert's going to burn. And Lambert's going to get into second standing up. Could be the beginnings of a two-out rally for Ryde. Lambert doing what she needs to for her squad. And that 471 average on the year, it's always going to be a good thing. Fukuda now up for Ryde. So ball inside on the first pitch. 524 average for Fukuda. 545 with runners in scoring position. Swung on and hard foul past Matt O'Neill, first base coach. So 1-1, 2 out. Ryde's potential first run represented at second. Swung on, grounded right side, and it'll be taken in by Green at first. And we head to the bottom of the fourth. Blacktown keeping Ryde at bay, leading 3-0. home half of the fourth. Mitchell is going to retain her spot on the bump. Ball inside, so a 1-1 count for the first assignment of the inning. Ball 2 on the inside again. Popped up, right side, foul. Will land in the Blacktown dugout, not the bullpen. Bullpen's a bit further up the line. She's got a piece of it, but not enough of a piece to get it that far. There's going to be Greenfell, Irwin, and Iredale. Excellent block by Grupelar. Swung on and fouled back again onto the infamous Blacktown International Sports Park roof. The object that can make arguably the loudest sound in the world. Foul ball hits it at the right angle. It'll be a walk for Greenfell. Can see someone rolling over for Blacktown, unsure who it is as of yet. Might be a positional change, but might also end up being another pitcher going to come in. Madison Irwin up for Blacktown. Greenfell will go. And she will get in behind the tag. Safe at second. Grupelar with the transition time and the pace to get it over, just a little too far away from the bag. Owen sees one on the inside part of the plate. That open stance that she does tend to use early in counts. She swings on one, popped up. It's going to be right on Grupelar and is able to squeeze that one tight. First out of the inning. Not exactly a novelty of the Women's League, but they are allowed to use metal bats, and you just saw Irwin pass off her DeMarini to Iredale. That one swung on and through to centre field on one pitch, and Blacktown are going to wave another one in. And Iredale safe in at second. Able to beat out the tag. O'Neill, Kazuda to Nakashio. Not in time for the speedy Iredale. You can see there that Greenfell was safe as houses in at home. And Iredale just absolutely putting one on a rope out to O'Neill in centre field. Takara Geldenhuis just being given a thumbs up from my production squad for finally getting that name right after struggling with it the entire pre-game. Takara Geldenhuis, 1 for 2. Swung on and lined to left field. That one's going to get extras. That one's going to find its way to the wall, and Geldenhuis with some pop. She's going to turn for third. And no, she's going to stay at second. These Blacktown girls just swapping spots, going, what you can do, I can do better. You line one to center. I'm going to put one on the wall. Going to be the second RBI for Geldon Heist tonight. And I mentioned earlier that Ryde have got to be thinking that the 13-3 scoreline has got a sting, and Iredale will be off. She'll be in safe at third. Again, Ryde were going to be wary of that 13-3 scoreline, and Blacktown obviously very cognizant of it as well, trying to possibly outdo themselves. They've already put 5 up on the board. Strike called to Maguire. Curveball from Mitchell in the dirt. Iredale, not Geldon High, sorry. They're moving too quickly. I can hardly keep up. Geldon High's going to stay at third. Thought about having a look, but ball got away, and that one will get it. Maguire not happy with being plunked. It never is fun on the raw side of the hit by pitch. So we go from one Madison to the other. Madison Heath now up to bat. Walked earlier, and Maguire will be safe at second on the early steal. Runners on corners, always good time to move a runner over. If is one of those paradoxes as a fielder. Do you attack the runner at second in the hopes that you can keep the runner on third at bay, or do you try and do a bit of a delayed throw, get the runner at third to commit to home and make sure you get them in a rundown? Or do you just let the base runner from first get in safe and completely disregard all the base runners? It is dealer's choice in that regard. Ball swung on. Nakashia is going to take it off a knee and fire over to first to get second out of the inning. Love with an excellent arm over to Kazuda at second. The run will score from third on the weekly hit ball to short. Geldon Heist, one of the players to keep an eye on from the coaching staff. Geldon Heist and Madison Irwin, the 9-hole batter. Ball swung on Van Eind. Ball down and away in the dirt. So Mitchell already having thrown 34 pitches. Not even out of 2 innings yet. And that 13 pitch point is what you're aiming for, at least to keep it somewhat efficient. Three, the absolute minimum. 9, the desired minimum for a perfect inning. 3 quick strikes to 3 quick batters. Doesn't happen as often as you'd think. And another walk. A plethora of walks this inning for Blacktown. Bring Brianna Green up to the plate. Ball inside to start the count. One on one. Popped up, right side. And it'll fall in between the three of them. Mitchell, Love and Grupel are all ran to the right side dugout, trying to get that one under control. Unfortunately, unable to. Swung on by Green. Fielded by Nakashio and taken in by Kazuda at second. That will end the Blacktown scoring. Blacktown on track to get 4 in the 5th and 5 in the 6th. If the numbers stay the way they are, Ryde to get any amount of offense on the board. We head to the 5th. Blacktown leading 6-0. Love, Grupela and Mitchell. 3 batters you will see for Ryde this inning. Now again, I've got the pleasure of talking to coaches prior to the game. Cameron Love, who you're seeing now, wasn't actually able to play at the start of the season. He was 15. Well, she turned 15 partway through the season, so needed an exemption to play. She's earned her stripes thus far this year. A 394 average, a 421 on base, and a 1027 OPS. A handful of stolen bags and they're leaving a couple triples in the mix. Rio count. Strike one called. Those wondering who those big blue monsters are in the beer garden, as Love will swing on the foot on that pitch and drive one up the middle. taken in by Maguire and thrown out at first. Again, for those wondering who's sitting in the beer garden, Big Blue Monsters. I do believe that's the women's New South Wales squad preparing for national action in only a couple weeks' time. Violet Grupala now up to bat. C strike one. Grupala able to hit it to all fields, which is always important as a batter. Even if you aren't necessarily a switch hitter, you should have at least a small ability to put it in right if you are a righty and left if you are a lefty. Shouldn't always be playing pull-side baseball. Strike two called. Grupala is dangerous when she does get on base. 11 bags and only one caught. And she will get punched out on one on the outside part of the plate. Jackson has just been exemplary tonight. One hit, 6 strikeouts. We'll bring Jess Mitchell up to the plate. Mitchell, again, one of the two-way stars for Ryde. Prefers the pitching side of the ball rather than the stick. Ball down and away, called a ball. Makes the count 2-0. Swung on, popped up, right side. And it'll find some grass between Irwin and Kennedy. Second hit on the night for Blacktown, only 2 allowed from Jackson, who's just reached, or who's just shy of 70 pitches, rather. When you've got a pitcher that might not be as efficient as you'd like, but is still going to strike out 7 through 4, might be worthwhile to keep her in there for as long as you can. No pitching limits for first grade action, and Delavere will see strike one. Ball in the other batter's box. Again, Jess Mitchell with 11 stolen bags on the year. Might be wise to keep an eye over at first. She hasn't been given the steal signal yet. Might not be much longer before she does get one. Ball fouled to the Blacktown dugout. Ball away. So 2-2 count with 2 out. Some would call that a pretty important lineup. And strike 3 called. Blacktown retain the shutout bid through 5. We head to the bottom. Blacktown trying to extend 6-0. Kennedy, Greenfelt, and Irwin. 3 that you're going to see most definitely bottom of the 5th. There's going to be Jess Mitchell retaining the pitcher's mound. Popped up. First baseman, Tamarin Love, able to go over and make the play. Much better version of what we saw earlier. We'll bring Greenfell up to the plate. Swings on the first pitch. Skied to shallow left. And Fakuta's going to track that one in and take the catch. So Mitchell might be able to get out of this one without any damage caused. It's Madison Irwin. The third of that Madison trio that Blacktown were quite complimentary of prior to the game. Strike one called. Ball away. Mitchell started the game against Blacktown on November 2nd, the only game they played against each other. Allowed 4 hits. Did give up the 11 runs. Only 2 of them were earned, however. Ball down and in. They had 5 walks with no strikeouts. So I can understand the reason as to why you'd start with Lambert. However, Mitchell did impress throughout the year in her own right. Swung on by Irwin. Left side is going to get taken in by Lambert and fired over to get the 3rd out of the inning. 1, 2, 3 in order for Blacktown. We head to the 6th. Blacktown still leading Ryde, 6-0. Top of the 6th. You are going to see the 1, 2, 3. O'Neill, Nakashio, and Kazuda. Ryde down to their last 6 outs, and that's not going to help them. Irwin's going to take that on the medium hop, make the play at first. I mentioned that it was Ryde's last 6 outs. Not one of the quirks, but one of the rules that the Women's League play by. They only require 7 innings instead of the regulation 9. So, realistically, Blacktown only need to survive 5 more and only need to give up 3 runs, and they've locked up another grand final in the 24-25 season. Ball down and away to Nakashio. 2 strikeouts on the night. And if Jackson can twirl herself a complete game, you got to imagine that Blacktown are going to be incredibly happy. 2-0 count. Jackson hasn't faltered thus far. Ball inside. She's not lost too much control. The occasional batter goes by where she might send him on a 5-pitch walk. Still with 7 strikeouts under her belt. It's a pretty good stat line. There's strike 1. So a 3-1 count to Nakashio, who was almost begging to get on base at this rate. Bowed right side. Nakashio, another threat on the base paths. 10 stolen bases, only caught twice. Is coming against Borkham Hills and the Dolphins on March 1st and 8th respectively. Keeping an eye on that 600 on base percentage. Numbers don't reflect what she's been like tonight. And there we go, first walk of the night for Nakashio. And that'll be the first mound meeting, rather, for Blacktown. Just going to go have a chat with the starter, just see how she's doing. Can't believe they're going to take her out just yet. Going to leave Jackson on the mound for the minute. Again, you're only 5 outs away from another grand final in the club championship. Nakashio with a moderately aggressive lead at first and even more aggressive secondary. That'll be ball 1. Pick-off attempt and safe. Do see a pair of Blacktown players walking up to the bullpen. It'll be ball 2. Unsure of who is heading on up for Blacktown, but we will get you that information when we can. Nakashio still on first, still with a aggressive lead. A ball inside from Jackson to Kazuda. Heath doing quite a good job tonight behind the dish. Catchers don't get as much respect as they deserve. But Heath going above and beyond thus far tonight. Calling an excellent game for Jackson. Nakashio's off early. She will get in standing up. Straight steal of second. Makes the count 3-0. 3-0 count. You're usually going to fight back just to get a strike on the batter. Got to imagine there's a fastball coming, and if Kazuda's given the green light, we might see the first run of the evening for Ryde. Nakashio's off again, and that one gets down the line. Nakashio is going to get waved around, and Kazuda's going to turn. That has found its way deep into the right field corner. Kazuda turns second. She's going to get into third, and she is standing up at third. Finally breaking the Stonewall Jackson. Ryde have finally jumped onto the board with a beautifully struck triple from Kazuda. Strike called on Lambert. Kazuda possibly looking to take advantage of an error between Heath and Jackson if the ball does get away from either of them. A 2-1 count on Lambert. 1 for 2 tonight. So she's had herself quite a successful evening. .455 average and .471 with runners in scoring position, so moderately better, but she will swing over the 3-1 pitch. We'll load up the count on Lambert. Three, two, one out. Payoff pitch. It'll be a ball in the dirt, and seems now we have 3 and 2, and this will be the payoff pitch. The payoff. Swung on well away. Expertly crafted slider from Jackson. Will drag Fukuda to the plate. Puts the strikeout total at 8. Strike one called on Fukuda. 8 strikeouts in 5 2/3 innings is usually a good sign. Swung on right side. Owen's going to take that and make it easy to finish off Ryde's inning. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Ryde finally getting on the board, 6-1. Top three hitters due up for Blacktown: Iredale, Gilden Heiss, and Maguire. Ball up and in, buzzing the tower does Nakashio, who is now the pitcher. Mitchell will get removed from the game, and Nakashio will take a spot on the bump. Iredale pops out to Fukuda in left field. Defensive change for Ryde. Nakashio will come from second onto the mound. Mitchell will go from the mound onto the bench. And from the bench, if I can get her name up, Abby Nines. Abby Ninnis, sorry. What are these names spelt deceivingly? Seems to be a common occurrence in women's grade, in the Kenrith side with the Te Ahura Caustic clan. Say that name 5 times fast. Strike called. Makes the count 1-1. Did mention that in women's league action, they only need 7 innings played, if I can get confirmation. Yes. So Blacktown potentially 3 outs away from taking the chip. Nakashio looking to prevent Blacktown from putting any more insurance on. Nakashio with some respectable innings this year, 17 complete throughout the season. 26 hits, 16 runs, 8 earned runs. Popped up, right centre, and it'll find some grass. Gilden Heiss is going to turn and burn. She's rounding second. She's going to get the stop signal at third. Just a beautifully struck ball from Gilden Heiss. We're going to see Paul O'Neill come out, have a chat. Possibly make a defensive change. Yes, looks like we are going to have a bit of defensive alteration. Lambert going to come off. Ninnis going from second to third, and Audrey Chang going in to cover second base. Audrey Chang, one of the names to watch out for from the Ryde coaches. Also a 15-year-old. A lot of these 15-year-olds started the year in second grade, had to cut their teeth a little bit before making the jump up to the majors. And again, Ryde, however much they are playing for tonight, they're not too stressed about it. They are ahead of schedule, as it were, with a lot of these younger players. Ball in the dirt to Maguire. I mentioned those top row rowdy Blacktown fans getting louder and louder as the game continues. Swung on, popped up, and Nakashio take a handful of steps to the left side of the mound and pull that one in for the second out of the inning. So now the second half of the law firm, Mackenzie Heath. Madison Heath, rather. Where did I get Mackenzie from? I've been saying Madison all evening. Swung on, it'll find a hole. It'll find its way out to Fukuda in left. And another insurance run on the board for Blacktown. Madison Heath with just a line shot through that shortstop third gap. Station to station baseball for Blacktown from here on out. Actually quite good one-handed grab from one of the fans in the front row as it bounced off the roof in Blacktown. Oh, and he drops his phone. Oh, no. From the highest of highs to the lowest of lows. With 7 on the board, I'm not too sure we're going to see Blacktown moving runners too aggressively. If we were to get a mercy rule, we would have had it prior to now. Swung on, popped, and into center field. O'Neill will pick it up on the stride and fire in to Kazuda at short. Again, just simple station-to-station baseball. Take bat to ball and move at 90 feet. Don't have to do too much when you've got a 6-run cushion over your opponents in a grand final. Brianna Green now up. Technically had no at-bats tonight, which was always a fun little oddity. Usually means you've either sacrificed or been stranded in various different ways. It's just a fun little numerical change. Swung on. Kazuda will take it off a knee at second, and that'll do it for Blacktown. We head to what could potentially be the last, potentially the top of the last, as Blacktown leading Ryde by 6, 7-1. Ryde down to their last trio of outs. Love, Grupala, and Ninnis. The three will be facing. New pitcher, Van Eind. It's going to come in to replace Mackenzie Jackson. Really looking to close out what has been quite a dominating performance from Blacktown. Swung over. 2-1 count to Love. So while Jackson was the major pitcher for Blacktown this year, Van Eind did her fair share. What a closing rolls. 2-2 count to Love. What can Van Eind do here? Ball in the dirt. She threw 15 under third this year. 21 hits, 20 runs. Only 12 of those were earned. 12 walks to 17 strikeouts. A 5.4 ERA and a 2.1 whip. A 3.04 batting average against. That'll set the table for Van Eind's pitching outing to presumably close out the year. Swung on. That'll go foul down the right field line. So a full count. The first assignment of the night for Van Eind. And Love would love to get on base and keep Ryde with a chance of winning this. And a walk for the first batter of the inning. We did lose the shutout attempt from Ryde in the previous inning. They have only allowed, well, Jackson only allowed 3 hits on the night. Looks like we might have not a pinch hitting situation, but a little bit of scouting for Ryde. Grupala. No, not Grupala. That'll be Laura Cheevers pinch hitting for Grupala. Maybe just being told by one of the older heads in Jess Mitchell what to expect. Ball in the dirt. Jess Mitchell's line on the night, 6 complete, 3 hits, 1 run. It was earned with 1 walk and 8 strikeouts. How good is that? Strike called. Swung on by Cheevers. Don't be surprised if we see Love moving. Fouled straight back. Five stolen bags on the year, one of them coming in previous game against the Dolphins. A swinging strikeout for Laura Cheevers. I believe that will bring Ninnis up to the plate. Ball in the dirt, first pitch from Van Eynd. 14 pitches currently. Not exactly what you want to see from the presumed closer. Swung on and fouled. I can tell you all the numbers I'd like for young Abby Ninnis. But at the end of the day, I don't think that's going to matter in a situation like this. One out. What is effectively your last frame of the year. Batting average, on base, and OPS, well, you don't really factor in. It's about the fire in your gut and the spark in your soul. If you can just play station-to-station baseball, Ryde have still got a chance to stay in this game. Swings on it. A bounce up. Oh, no double play. The ball gets away from Irwin at second. The Love is going to get tracked down at third. Iredale had the right idea to shoot over to second to make the double and get Blacktown out of this. But Irwin just stone cold losing it. Love with the correct idea as well, trying to capitalise on that error. Now you've got two out. Delavere is up to the plate. So with the presumed last out of Ryde's season, strike one is called. Swings on it, fouls it back. Heath is active. Heath is moving incredibly quickly for a catcher that's currently sat through 6 2/3 of a game. No balls, 2 strikes. Can Blacktown close it out? Swings on and fouls it back again. Delavere is doing everything in her power to keep Ryde kicking and screaming into this grand final. 0-2 again. Their last strike. And it goes behind. Ninnis will be on the move. And again, with Ryde can just play station to station. There is a real chance they can win this ball game. One and two. Ball inside, backs Delavere off the plate. I think that was Matt O'Neill giving a swing away signal to Delavere. Let's see what magic can happen. Swings on it and fouls it back again. This might end up being the longest at-bat of the night. And it couldn't come at a better spot for Ryde, especially with the top of the order due up in the next 3. Two and two, 2 out. Van Eynd kicks and deals. Swings on it and fouls it back again. Delaware will not quit. 7 pitches in the at-bat already. That'll be the 4th foul ball. And that'll do it for Blacktown. Delaware strikes out swinging, and Van Hind clears out Ryde. Blacktown continuing their sweep of grand final success in this 24-25 State League season. And in dominating fashion, Blacktown clear out Ryde 7-1. Now, a lot can be said for who deserves player of the match. Do you go the offensive side of the ball? Do you go the defensive side of the ball? And quite frankly, the obvious choice is quite often the correct one. Mackenzie Jackson, 6 innings pitched, only 3 hits allowed and 1 earned run. 8 strikeouts, 10 strikeouts combined for Blacktown on the night. So if you were to keep your eyes out on the medal presentation, I do believe young Jackson will get that player of the match nod. We appreciate having you with us here tonight on what is an April Fool's Day, Tuesday the 1st. And we look forward to having you again tomorrow night for men's first grade action, the 3rd of a 3-game set. So to those of you at home and on behalf of the production crew, thank you for joining us. Blacktown beating Ryde 7-1.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Women's League, State League. I'd like to thank Blacktown and Ryde. Pretty eventful game. We could hear lots of cheering. Unfortunately for Ryde, not in vain. But on behalf of Luke, Janine and myself, we'd like to thank both teams. We'd like to call Paul to come out and have a bit of a chat and present his team with the regards.
Look, firstly, I'd like to thank the umpires, the grounds crew for getting the ground up for us tonight. After looking at the other two fields, they're on the water, so well done. To the league, thanks very much. Blacktown, congratulations, ladies. Too strong for us tonight. Deserved the win. Thank you. My girls, thank you very much for the season. Very proud of all of you. Here we go. Audrey. Jessica. Mayu. Ayu. Oh, look. Tamarin. Lisa. Laura. Mahala. Catherine. Izzy. Abby. And last but not least, our catcher, Violet. And I'd also like to thank the ladies and the gents that scored for us throughout the year. So thank you.
Thanks, Paul. I'd like to call on Maddie. Come and present your medallions.
Sorry, I sound like this. I'm sick of the dog. Again, yeah, league thanks. You know, you work hard each year and get us up and running and the best for everyone. So, and the grounds crew, our players, everyone in the front office, continue to make our job easy to turn up every week and just play. To Ryde, we only played you once this season, and tough game always against you guys. You're young, you've got the talent, and you've got places. So congratulations. To my girls, we've grinded for a few years, and last year wasn't our year, but this year we've come out and stuck to our standards. I'm proud of every single one of you. Every single one of you played a role in getting us where we are, and I couldn't be prouder. To our club, you guys, look at you all. You've been behind us all year, and we couldn't be more thankful for you guys to involving us and making this club at home. So thank you, everyone. I'll go to the line up. Angie. Melanie. Melanie. Free Green. Matisse. Elise. Maddie Ellen. Mackenzie Jackson. Alex special ceremony and workout. Rhiannon. Emma. Tiana. Sarah. Brianna.
So today it was pretty unanimous that the grand final MVP was Takara. All right, I'd like to call Maddie back to receive the Champions Trophy.